It's race week, everybody. The Singapore Grand Prix is on this week, and as always, ahead of the event around the Marina Bay, we're going to take a look at who has won Formula One's first night race the most over the years. The Singapore Grand Prix has been on and off the calendar, mainly on ever since 2008. So which drivers have stood on the top step the most in this Southeast Asian city-state? Well, here are all the winners of the Singapore Grand Prix. So before we get into the multiple winners of the Singapore Grand Prix, let's lay the groundwork first of all. So before we get into the multiple winners of the Singapore Grand Prix, let's lay the rules down first of all, because the Singapore Grand Prix was actually run back in the 1960s and 1970s, although back then it was a non-championship round. So I am afraid, Graham Lawrence, despite winning the race on 3 occasions, you do not qualify for this list. It is only from 2008 onwards. Quick mention first of all for the drivers who have won once around this track, so they don't qualify for the in-depth multiple winner look. These are, of course, Nico Rosberg, who won in 2016, Sergio Perez, who won in 2022, and Carlos Sainz Jr., who won in 2023, as well as Lando Norris, our most recent winner in 2024. But here are the multiple winners of the Singapore Grand Prix. And the first guy on the list is none other than Fernando Alonso, who won here twice in the opening 3 years of this event. Totally not controversially in 2008, thanks to some suspicious acts by his teammate at the time, Nelson Piquet Jr. To date, this is actually Alonso's win from furthest down on the grid. He started in 15th position during the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, although of course Crashgate very much did mean that he won that one. He wouldn't have won it otherwise, I don't think, it wasn't for that. But anyway, he won in much less controversial circumstances in 2010, holding off Sebastian Vettel throughout the entire race to bolster his championship challenge in 2010, one that was ultimately, unfortunately for him, unsuccessful. Some may say that was a bit of karma, but maybe I'm being a bit harsh on that one. But yeah, if you want to find out more about 2008 and Singapore's controversy, go look up my Crashgate video that I made last year ahead of that year's race. But next we are going to talk about Sir Lewis Hamilton, who has won this event 4 times over the years. He won in 2009 despite driving a pretty uncompetitive McLaren, one of very few wins that he managed to get that year. I think only 2, one around this track and then one around Hungary. And despite Mercedes not, of course, having the best car in general around Singapore during the V6 Turbo Hybrid era, he did manage to win 3 times, of course, which is not bad at all. He won in 2014 after his teammate Nico Rosberg was unable to get off the line due to a mechanical issue, and he also won for Mercedes in 2017 and 2018. 2017 he avoided the chaos at the front with Max Verstappen, of course, crashing out the 2 Ferraris. I'm saying that as a joke because, of course, it wasn't his fault, despite what the Ferrari Twitter account said at the time. It was clearly the Ferraris who were wrong in that one. And yeah, he also won in 2018 as well. But the guy who has won the most around here, 5 victories, not bad at all. That coming from just 11 starts around this track. He almost won 50% of the Singapore Grand Prix that he started, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel won 3 times in a row around this track between 2011 and 2013 and did so in dominant fashion, although he did get slightly lucky in 2012 with Hamilton retiring from the lead at the time in his McLaren. Vettel also won in 2015 for Ferrari and 2019 as well for the Scuderia as well, that being his only win at that season. Vettel was an absolute master around this track. He was a guy who could really eke out all the performance possible from the Pirelli tyres, and he did so on a regular basis around this track. And for now, at least, he remains the most successful driver in the history of the Singapore Grand Prix. But yeah, guys, what do you think about that list? Anybody surprise you in that one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And who is going to win this week? The Singapore Grand Prix, of course, having 5 different winners in the last 5 years. Could Oscar Piastri or Max Verstappen win this weekend to make it change? Verstappen has never won around Singapore. One of the few tracks he hasn't, of course. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always if you want to see more of this. Guys, have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.